Oh, what a beautiful day. Here I am. There's my little cat. My daughter reminded me of this wicked story that is a true story of a guy named Joshua Bell, who is one of the world's most amazing violinists. And he played this $3.5 million violin. He played it in the subway for like 45 minutes and he got $30 from people just in the New York subway going back and forth. And 2 days before, he had played the sold out theater in Boston for $100 a head and playing exactly the same music. Now, I, as a musician, I have definitely played the odd gig where you are playing these songs that you poured your heart and blood and soul and life into, and nobody cares. They're just like, louder, Freebird, and they're just hammered, or they're not listening, and it doesn't matter. And you play those gigs, it's fine. But what I would like to talk about, this kind of reminded me of the idea of the human greenhouse. When my kids were just very young, my son was just a few months old, we moved from Minneapolis to Connecticut. And this big moving truck, and with my buddy Peter, who's also a mentor of mine. And he was telling me about working with, because he worked with youth as well. And he was saying, people are it's kind of like a greenhouse where you can be the most amazing, if you think about a plant. Here's a plant. That's a big plant. But if you have a plant and you are planted in the right location, in a greenhouse with water and the right temperature and the right soil, obviously that plant's going to grow well. It's going to grow strong. It's going to actually reproduce. It's going to be wicked. Now that same plant, if you put it just 10 feet outside the perfect greenhouse, in the snow, in the freezing cold, obviously the plant's going to go bye-bye. And it's the same thing with humans. Now, when I work with people, or I'm starting to, when someone wants to start working with me, doing some coaching, a lot of times there's a place, there's a situation, there's a time in their life, they're at a place in their life where they're not kicking ass. There's something off, there's something missing, or they're not feeling like they're thriving, or in a certain area of their life. Maybe it's relationally, maybe it's professionally. And so many of us have been in those situations. I've been in those situations as well, relationally. When you feel like, damn, I'm just not feeling valued here. Like, people don't get it. People don't get me, or you're not appreciated, or your gifts aren't recognized, or the gifts that you have don't have a place to really experiment and find their way. Think right now about a time in your life when you did feel the most alive, when you felt the most fulfilled, or oh yeah, that was what was happening? What kind of friends did you have? What were you investing your time in and money into? What was around you? What was helping you thrive there? And so the two follow-up questions are, in order to get to that place where you are kicking ass, where you are feeling, when you are the most alive, what do you need to let go of? Doink. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to shed? Is it a relationship? Is it a friendship? Is it a habit? Is it a job? And then the other piece is, the other question is, what do you need to grab onto? Is it a large stick to fend off the enemies? What is it? What do you need to grab onto? Is it a habit? Is it some more support? Is it firing back up a hobby? Or so just take some time with that. And if you do need some extra support or help, I'd love to help you find that. In the meantime,
You're a cold day in August, you're a stream too shallow. You're a heart-shaped box with no letter inside. You're a seed unplanted, you're a field run fallow. Your heart's used up, you're feeling cast aside. I'm sorry that I left so soon. I left you standing at the gallows. You were all strung out, the hangman waiting for a sign. Come see me at the greenhouse in the backyard. Come see me at the oak tree with our names carved in the bark. Come see me at the train tracks. Bring some pennies for old time's sake. Even though I'm gone, there's some memories that you need to take with you. Got yourself married. You're doing all the things that we never got to do. You had yourself a baby, she's beautiful and happy. Oh Lord, how I wish I could have given that to you. But I left too soon. I was standing at the gallows, I was all strung up. I gave the hangman the sign. You don't need me at the greenhouse, in the backyard, down at the oak tree, with our names carved in the bark. Don't make it to the train tracks, bringing pennies for old time's sake. New memories that you need to make. It's time for me to fade away.